James, yet another evening at the poor farm, working on the water lines. We made it yesterday as far as this building here, our little mini cabin. There's where we got with the line. There's a hydrant on the diagonal from the intersection here. So got the line all the way to there, connected all the way out to the meter. Got to connect it over to that hydrant. It's connected. It's already connected to the hydrant over there on the other side of those sheds there, in that fence line where the bull used to always drink, or will be drinking. But so I got this trench, but I had to dig all of this out by hand. So every intersection, every little intersection I come across, every place where I have to cross, I end up with a pile of dirt I had to dig out by hand. James out at the poor farm once again. So I took a day off work today, see if I could get at least my little gravel buckets around my hydrants put in, and I wanted to get some 8-inch pipe put around the 3 valves, shut-off valves I have, but Menards said they had it. My son went to Menards to get some stuff for his house, and he asked them about it, and they said they didn't have it. They'd have to special order it, and they couldn't get it till December sometime, so I'm gonna have to search hard and find someplace else. But I found some old stove pipe to kind of put in over a couple, just to keep the dirt from getting in around them, which is only 6 inches, but I need at least 8 inches to be able to turn the valve on and off. So it's got about 4 inches of rain and all. It's not very, hasn't dried up much, but there's a chance of more rain this week, so I'm gonna have to, so I'm just dealing with the mud and trying to get it done. I got to get it covered up in a lot of places so I can drive across where the pipe goes. So I'm gonna try to get buckets of gravel. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's an idea I got off of YouTube. But I still got to put my pipe up into the building, but I'm gonna have to dig a little dirt out there, and so I'll probably try to get that later this week. But all the pipes in the ditch and the hydrants are, it's got to get some of it covered up, get the gravel boxes around the hydrants so I can get dirt in around those. That's kind of my goal for today. I had to dig, a lot of it's caved in, so I had to dig to find one of my shut-offs, and another one is not, there's another one that's covered up, so I have to dig around and see if I can find it. Of course, it's just pure muck I'm trying to dig out, so it sticks to your shovel and everything else. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Anyhow, there's the I cut slots in my buckets to go around the pipe, and I fill it full of gravel. It's not the gravel I prefer to put in them. I'd rather have like some like pea gravel, or maybe just a little bigger pea gravel to put in them. But I had that pile of crusher run out there. And I just kind of scooped off some of it that's bigger chunks. Hoping that'll work out all right. But as you can see, it caved in a lot. I'm trying to cave in more. So I found an old stove pipe. An old stove pipe I cut into just to kind of keep so I can put dirt in around this and keep that valve. I guess you can't see the valve down in there, but 6 inch ain't big enough to turn it on and off. So I got to find some 8-inch pipe or something of some kind somewhere. Menards, of course, didn't have it. Home Depot and Lowe's don't even show it on their website. But yeah, my pipe's kind of buried there. I got to dig it out a little bit over here on this side, and then I can drill my hole, stick it up in the building. When we get the skid steer, I gotta see if I can get this problem I got over here is so much, well, part of my problem over here is so much water ran off this shed. I didn't think about that. I'd have got it covered up sooner, but it ran right into this ditch. And there's quite a bit of runoff around here too. This ditch here is plumb full of water. It's just running from everywhere. Like I say, I got about 4 inches total. See, I got the gravel bucket around this one. It had a bunch of water in it. I dipped out. But they're not leaking. I checked them before. Checked them a couple times before all this rain set in. So this is the theory. Fill that bucket full of gravel. This is the best looking one I got yet. The pipe kind of curves in there, so I made a slot that goes right around the pipe there. Goes up, slots around the post. Full of gravel. All your, hopefully it keep, the idea is to keep the roots from growing up in there, plugging up the drain. And I have one at the house, but I haven't had one in long enough to know whether the theory works or not, but I'm trying it on all of them. This one, there's no trees anywhere around it, so I probably could have got away with just piling some gravel on the bottom, but I had the buckets, the extra hydraulic buckets that were empty, so I might as well just go ahead and do it. I could take my fin or oscillating saw and cut them pretty quick. So I got two more I'm gonna try to do tonight, and then I've already got the buckets cut. I just got to go back and forth and get gravel, and then hopefully, I may have to go feed the cows a bale of hay. I give them some cubes. They're all standing down there giving me the eyeball, so I may have to. I think it's been about 4 days, but they had part of a bale when I give them left from a bale when I give them the last bale, so they're really not suffering, but they always think they need new hay, even though they've got hay they could be eating. Right here, this pen, this side over here is where I normally keep the bull. I'll probably put him back in here, and I'll try to put I wanted to separate the steers and heifers eventually after they get weaned. I might just wean them and let the heifers go back with the cows and just fatten up the 5 steers I have by themselves. I haven't decided yet. I have a few smaller calves that were born later that may not get as much to eat if they're with the others, so I might try to figure out some way to separate them from the others, and so they can get a little more to eat. I have one of the very last steers I had that was born. I've kind of decided he's going to be so much smaller than the rest of them that I'm going to go ahead and just probably just fatten him up the butcher. As Farmer Tyler Ranch says, he calls it harvesting. He calls it harvesting the steers. I never heard that term before, but that's a new one on me. So it was so muddy by the shed, the skid steer I couldn't get it in here because it just kept spinning. So I had to fill in this little bit right here with my shovel. You can see there's just water sitting in there. It's muddy as all get out. So I'm gonna try to, I was actually spinning up underneath the eave of the shed, actually bumped into it in one spot up there, but yeah, I was trying to get my skid steer in here so I could knock this dirt in with it, but not happening, so I'm gonna have to shovel it in, try to keep it from filling in with water if it rains again from the shed. That's kind of the main priority today. Then I'll move on to making some more gravel bucket. So I got quite a bit of it filled in by hand. I got a little bit of a spot there I need to build up. I had a bunch of rocks in this pile that I dug out right here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna run my skid steer in over there, scoop some of that off right there, try to get a little of this. I'm just gonna make a big pile right here so this water run over the shed will hopefully deter and come off this way. It was so dry when I started this project, I never even thought about the water coming off this shed. So eventually I'm going to make some kind of a gutter system on this thing to make it run into a pipe under the ground and come out on the other side of that little drive. Hopefully next summer. All right, so I couldn't really get in there where I need to get to dump the dirt for the skid steer, but I did get the pile loosened up enough I could shovel some more in there a little easier. So got enough in there for now. It'll probably settle down if it rains a bunch, and if it dries out instead of raining, if it dries out more, I'll be able to scoop that pile up and make more of a mound there, so I have a little bit because it'll settle down quite a bit. James here. You're watching The Poor Farm. If you like these videos, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.